Morning, dear students. As yesterday we have discussed the metallurgy of copper, now let's see the extraction or metallurgy of zinc from zinc oxide as well as its different ores. Generally, the zinc is found in the combined state, and the more common ores are zinc blende, that is having the formula as ZnS, that is a sulfide ore, calamine, zinc carbonate, ZnCO3, zincite, ZnO means zinc oxide, and willemite, that is Zn2SiO4. So let's see the extraction. The extraction can be done either by the pyrometallurgy or by the electrometallurgy. As we have discussed about the pyrometallurgy, so let's see by the reduction process how we can obtain or extract the zinc metal from different ores. So let's see the first process after crushing is the concentration process. So the concentration process depends on the type of ore that we have taken. If we have taken the sulfide ore, we are to go through the froth flotation method, in which many times I have told you that it is to be done in case of the sulfide ore. It depends, its principle is about the wetting property of sulfide ore to the oil. If we are taking zinc carbonate, so we have to apply the gravity separation method, in which ore is heavy while the gangue or matrix are light particles. The next, if we are taking the iron oxide, if we are taking the ore in which we are having the impurity of iron oxide, so we have to apply the electromagnetic separation method, by which we can separate either the impurity or the ore is magnetic in nature. That we have already discussed in detail in the concentration processes. So it must be clear to all, or you can go and view that lecture in which we have discussed the concentration process. So afterward we have to go through the roasting process, in which different type of ores are being converted into its oxide. So in the roasting process, the concentrated ore is heated at around 1173, means 1173 Kelvin, in the excess of oxygen, because in roasting process we are to heat the ore below its melting point, but in excess of air it is to be done. So if we are having the sulfide ore, so sulfide ore would be oxidized to the oxide and SO2 would be released. Maybe some of the zinc sulfide would be oxidized to zinc sulfate, and at this temperature zinc sulfate again decompose into zinc oxide, sulfur dioxide and oxygen. If we are taking the ore as calamine, that is ZnCO3, so at this temperature it also decomposes to give zinc oxide and carbon dioxide. And other process that takes place in roasting is, if the impurities get oxidized to form volatile oxides, that can be removed, moisture can be removed, and the surface of ore become porous, by which reduction can be done easily. If we have taken the zincite ore, so it is already in the zinc oxide form, so there is no need to do the roasting process. Now we are to reduce the metal from the oxide ore. It means we have to see the thermodynamic principle of reduction by the Ellingham diagram. Now let's see the Ellingham diagram, in which we are having the graph between del G naught and temperature. Here we are able to see we have taken the temperature on x-axis and del G naught of oxygen in kilojoule per mole at y-axis. Let's see, as we are able to see here, four graphs are here. One for carbon to carbon dioxide, other one for carbon monoxide to carbon dioxide, and next one is carbon to carbon monoxide, and this one is for zinc to zinc oxide. Here what we are able to see, that at 1173 Kelvin, around at 1173 Kelvin, there is a sudden change in the graph of zinc to zinc oxide, that it is moving upward. So as I have told you in the Ellingham diagram also, this is just because there is a state change here. Here, this is the boiling point of zinc. At this state, zinc converts from liquid state to its gaseous state. And now as we are able to see, at around 1270 Kelvin, it intersects the graph of carbon to carbon dioxide also. Here we are able to see that at 1180 Kelvin, it also intersect of carbon to carbon monoxide gas. So we may say that above 1270 Kelvin, carbon or coke would be the suitable reducing agent by which zinc oxide can be reduced to zinc, as here we are having the appropriate negative value of del G. From here we are able to reduce zinc oxide to zinc, because from the less negative value to more negative value we are able to see in the graph. So we may write the reaction as zinc oxide can be reduced by coke above 1270 Kelvin to zinc and carbon monoxide, because it is having the considerably negative value for the reduction of zinc oxide with coke. So that is about the metallurgy of zinc. Now let's see the next process. As we have already discussed the thermodynamic principle of metallurgy, in which we have discussed that what should be the optimum temperature and what should be the suitable reducing agent for the oxide ore to reduce into particular metal. Now let's see the electrometallurgy. What is electrometallurgy? That is electrochemical principle of metallurgy, that is being applied in that cases in which by the pyrometallurgy the reduction of particular oxide ore is not being done. As I have already told you, pyrometallurgy, that is applicable for less reactive metals, but electrometallurgy is applicable in the case where we are having highly reactive metals. For example, sodium, magnesium, aluminium and calcium, that we have already discussed, in which we were discussing about the smelting process, we were discussing about the electrolysis process, self reduction, in which we have discussed the reduction of different ores to their metals. So if we are talking about the highly reactive metals that already works like a strong reducing agents, so here the electrometallurgy work in place of pyrometallurgy. It can be understood by this particular equation that is having the relationship between del G and E naught. So del G naught is equal to minus NF E naught. That is the equation that we will discuss in detail in chapter electrochemistry. So here N is the number of electrons involved in reduction process, F is the Faraday constant, and E naught is the electrode potential of redox couple. Whatever redox couple we are taking, it is the value of that redox couple of electrode potential. So let's see what is the principle behind it. Here we are able to see that if the value of del G naught would be negative, the reaction would be feasible. So if the value of E naught would be positive, then only we would be getting the value of del G naught as negative. So what we have to see, if the difference in E naught value of two redox couple, because the reaction in electrolysis process would be between two, is positive, so del G naught would be negative. That is, more reactive metal will displace the less reactive metal. It can be understood with the help of this example. The electrolysis is to be done by the molten salts of the particular metal that is to be reduced. So suppose we have taken the molten salt of copper, we have taken the aqueous solution of copper metal with scrap iron. So let's see the copper ion. Here we are able to see is getting reduced, and the reduction process is being done at cathode in the electrolysis process, that we know well. So the reduction potential for this reaction is 0.34 volt in positive. As we have already studied in class 11th the redox reactions, in that we have told you about the electrochemical series. So we are able to see from the electrochemical series that copper is having the reduction potential in positive, while iron is having the reduction potential in negative. Means iron is more reactive metal than copper. You must have remembered the electrochemical series, on the basis of which we can explain the process, or you can see the electrochemical series for the process, that Fe is having the reduction potential is in negative, and those which are having the more negative reduction potential, they are being oxidized, and those which are having the reduction potential in positive, they are being reduced. So here we are able to see that the difference in E0 values of two redox couple if positive. So let's see. The reduction potential of copper is 0.34, reduction potential of iron is minus 0.44 volt. So the difference can be calculated like this. E0 would be equal to E cathode minus E anode. At cathode, the reduction takes place. So we will take this reaction and this value 0.34 volt. And at anode, always oxidation takes place. So we will take this reduction potential. Here we are to put the values of reduction potential only. We are not supposed to take the oxidation potential. As I have written, oxidation potential also, that is having the same value but different sign. It is positive while it is negative. So here in this formula, we are to take the reduction potential only. So 0.34 for cathode means for reduction process, and at anode always oxidation takes place. That's why we have taken the reduction potential of Fe in this case. So the difference is the positive value, as we are able to see. Negative, negative, positive, and they both will sum up to give the value as 0.78. As it is the positive value, and if it would be the positive, the value of del G naught would definitely be negative, means the reaction would be feasible. It means that by taking scrap iron to the copper ion solution, we can reduce the copper ion to copper, and the Fe would move in the solution, means it would be oxidized. So that is about the electrometallurgy, in which we have seen that extraction of metal by electrolysis of the fused salt is basically known as the electrometallurgy. Here what we are to do, we are to take the suitable material of the electrode that depends on the basis of the reactivity of the particular metal, because at that particular metal the metal would be deposited, that is being reduced. And for the process, sometimes we have to use the flux. Flux is also added to increase the conductivity of molten metal. So now you are to make notes till the electrometallurgy, and tomorrow we will discuss the metallurgy of aluminium and the hydrometallurgy process. So I suggest that all of you go through the related questions of NCERT and your reference book to the related topics. Thank you.